But my sense of urgency, I'm always, I think that's a fault too. This is a character flaw in me, is that I just always feel like there's time. I always feel like I'll just get to it. I'll get to it eventually, you know? And things fly by, and then next thing you know, I'm getting fucking sued by a radiology company because they took brain scans of my head and didn't tell me that my insurance didn't cover it. So
you are listening to the VCast.
good morning, fams. My fams. What's up, baby? How you doing? Hey, baby. Hey, baby. I don't know where that came from. I'm macking you people on this beautiful Sunday morning. Welcome back to the VCast. It's your boy. It's your friend. It's your cousin, Vic Cedeno. We're back, man. Christmas is over. Sunday morning. It's 5:30 in the morning. My usual routine of waking up at 4:30 and just staring at the walls. I don't know why I've been waking up so early. I just wake up. I don't know. I go to sleep at like a reasonable time. I think I was asleep at like 10 something last night. It wasn't that late. But yeah, Christmas is over, man. That's it. 2020 Christmas is over. I wanted to get on this podcast real quick, do a year in review. I did one for last year, but I never released it because when I recorded the year in review, that weekend Kobe Bryant died, or I don't know if it was the weekend, but like Kobe Bryant died in that same time period. So then I ended up recording a separate podcast, just because the news of Kobe Bryant's death devastated me. I don't know if it's devastated me, it just fucked me up. But that's how we started. That's how we started the year, with Kobe Bryant's death into a fucking side of a hill in a helicopter. So that derailed my plans for doing a year review. Last year I did a year in review and I went through like my notebook and went through all my shows that I was at. And this year I didn't do that because I didn't keep track of shit that I was doing this year, which is a mistake, but it is what it is, you know? What am I going to do, go back and fucking write them up now? I mean, I could, but I like my hat. It's like this hat, customer service with the middle finger. Hell yeah. It's the kind of customer service I give. Customer service with a middle finger and a smile. I'm smiling on the phone, but my middle finger's at my computer like this, just waving it. So, oh man, this year was crazy. Let's just talk about recent stuff before I get into the whole year. I had a dope conversation yesterday with Pedro Garcia. He was on a previous episode of the podcast, but he got his podcast, the Rated PG podcast, and I was on that last night. Man, did we have fun. That was the best podcast I think I've recorded. Like somebody, I don't know, I might have been better than any podcast I recorded of my own. I was just thinking when I said that yesterday to him that about like the podcast that I've been on. But I think that was my best podcast performance, man. We were just having fun, joking, laughing, talking stupid shit. And it just felt good. Like we were just laughing. You know, when you have one of those conversations where everything's it's just funny. Like everything you make fun of is funny. And that we had one of those conversations talking about a whole bunch of nothing. Really, that's the best part. Like, I feel like lately, all of these podcasts that I've been on and all these conversations that I've been on, it's like I keep circling back to like coronavirus and the election and all that stuff. And yeah, man, that stuff's cool to talk about, and it's interesting, but it's not funny. I mean, we can make it funny. We try to make it funny. I say we're doing Free Thinker TV with the boys at the dojo. I don't even think what this is might be something. I don't think this is going to be on Free Thinker TV. As a matter of fact, there's concerns over our content, and when I say we, I mean the dojo boys. I like that, the dojo boys. Me, Clint, Dave Namery, TJ Francis. We were just trying to do some skits and fucking around with kind of like almost like a news program kind of thing. I don't know. Like a kind of like an In Hot Water. An In Hot Water meets fucking Crack Babies. I don't know what to like describe it as, but we recorded one last Monday. We're gonna do another one this Monday. I did a little segment on it about weed because it's legal now, so I'm way more comfortable talking about it. Before I just felt like there was gonna be blowback. I couldn't really be honest about it, and it's a shame. It's a shame that you can't be honest about your hobbies or your habits. Like, everybody's got them. Like, what's your habit? Do you smoke cigarettes? Do you drink? Do you watch too much TV? Do you eat a lot? I got a lot of those habits. I think I'm just a habitual person. I'm a habitual offender. Not in crime, though. In crime, I'm a good boy. Damn, I'm all over the place. So, yeah, we did that podcast yesterday. That was fun. I had the day to myself, so I was able to move around freely without any little kids violating my constitutional rights. I'm going to start telling my daughter that when I leave. Like, am I being detained? Why are you holding me here? So that was yesterday. Christmas was good. I mean, we didn't do anything, no family dinners this year. Everybody's scared, or being cautious, I guess, is the right word. It's weird, man. It's just a weird time. I mean, I was at my mother-in-law's house with a mask on. We just went to pick up food, and then we ended up going at the same time as my sister-in-law. So, it was nice to see everybody, and that's what Christmas is all about. I mean, the toys and all that stuff and the gifts, yeah, they're cool. But for me, Christmas has always just been about like that time with the family. When I was little, we used to do Christmas parties in the Bronx. All right, Christmas parties in the Bronx, or Christmas parties at my house with people from the Bronx, because that's where my mom's family is from. And if I did Christmas with my dad's family, then we were down in Camden. So either way, I wasn't allowed to go outside. But it was always a family affair. You see everybody, you laugh. Like, you don't really see your family all year. I mean, for me, growing up, you don't really get to see and spend a lot of time with your family. I mean, we used to do it every Sunday. Every Sunday we used to go to my grandma's house for dinner. And just spend the day there, like, early afternoon, you go and you hang out, you stay there the whole day, they cook food, and I'm playing with my toys and taking fucking naps, and, I would do that. I would play, take naps, get up, play again, and then it was time to go home after, like, we eat, and after at night and stuff, we'd visit my grandma, stay at my grandma's house. But then when Christmas came around, when we would go on Sundays, maybe once in a while, we would run into my cousins or my uncle. A lot of times we'd run into my uncle because Sundays, since my mom would go and my uncle was there every day, he wouldn't go on Sundays. Sundays he would be with his family because my mom was with his mom and he didn't have to worry. So we didn't really see him that often on Sundays. So when Christmas time came around and the holidays came around, that Christmas party was like the family reunion of the year. Everybody gets together, laughing, you talking shit, making fun of each other, loving and kissing each other, like, no, like, just showing each other affection and just enjoying each other's company. And it made Christmas so much better. Like, I don't remember like the gifts I got there, like some Hot Wheels, you know what I mean? Like, that stuff was fun. You open a couple gifts, that was cool and all, but I've never been very materialistic. So it wasn't like, I mean, the toys are cool as a kid. You're obsessed with toys and getting a gift, but you don't realize it until you're an adult. The more important things you were making were memories. The more important gift that you got were those memories that you could look back on and feel nostalgic about. Those times you spent with my grandma, the fucking music that played, the laughter, just the laughing and the yelling and kids getting in trouble and getting hit with the cabullo. The cabullo is just this little strap that my grandma used to carry in her bata. For those non-Spanish people, batas are what the elderly wear. Elderly women wear these batas. They're just like one piece of cloth that has no sleeves, or sometimes they have sleeves, like shirt sleeves. And it's one piece, and you put it on over your underwear, and that's your bedtime. Like, that's usually what you wear to sleep. But since didn't really do much, my grandma would be in that shit all day. And in one of the pockets in the front had like these little front pockets. She carried this little maybe 10 to 12 inch long leather strap that was one leather strap made up of like 6 leather strings intertwined into each other. And that's what you got your ass whooped with if you were bad. But it was never, it never took, you were never beaten with the thing. It really only took one, and you were dancing, like just one little touch. Plus, when you were little, like as a baby, I was talking about this on Pedro's podcast, the Rated PG podcast. When you were little, like as a little kid, when you could walk, she would take it and just touch your skin with it, like give it a little smack. So you felt a little sting, but not she wouldn't fucking hit you with it, but she'd give you a little smack. Pa que lo pruebe. Pa que lo prove. Wait, am I saying fucking pa que lo prove? I can't talk Spanish, bro. It's too early. But just so you can taste it is what she would say, and smack you a little bit with a little bit on the ass. Pa que lo prove. I feel like I'm saying that wrong. Anyway, so those were the memories. Those were the memories. Those Christmas times. I remember one time, even in Florida, like, this is after my grandmother passed away. This is more recent times, but in Florida, we had a Christmas party one time at my mom's house, where some family came, like my mom's, some of my cousins and stuff, obviously all older now, and they came, and we had one of those parties that, we got drunk and we were playing Spanish music real loud. We were dancing, and we were just having so much fun. And I think we got robbed of that this year. And I mean, I get it, the pandemic and stuff, man. People are scared, but I'm just I'm an adamant. I don't want to say adamant. I'm not that adamant. I just don't believe. I don't believe the hype anymore. Quite frankly, I don't believe the hype anymore. It's not the same. I'm not going to go into this either because, I mean, it's just not the same that it was in March. We're acting the same as if it was in March. And I know people are dying. I understand that. And, I'm sympathetic to that. But I've had friends that have lost family members, like death is not, it's not, for the people that are experiencing it, I get it, like it's not something where it's like, oh, but it's 99.9%. You know what I mean? I get that. All right. I get 300,000 people died. However, of those 300,000 people, how many people were going to die anyway? That's an important question to ask, because that fucking matters. All right. If the disease is killing people that were already going to die, but it's not killing people that are not on their way out, like that much, it's not a danger to them. Like, I just think we should just readjust. The media has not done anything to calm the hysteria. And I know some people are gonna be like, well, you know, if you walked it back and you know, if people weren't scared, they wouldn't be acting responsibly. Maybe, but what kind of? I feel like if I can't reason with my kid, and I can only teach them by fear, that I'm a failure. So maybe society's a failure. You know what I mean? I don't know. Let's just go down this rant. It's just really frustrating that there's no individual thinking. There's no, everything is, I don't know, everything's just spoon fed. People aren't looking at other options. I don't know. What are we talking about here? I told you I didn't want to go on this rant because it's just for naught. All right, doesn't matter what data show. Well, it doesn't matter what data will show people, because if the certain overlords of information aren't saying it, then some people are just not gonna believe it, no matter what. Just no matter what, no matter where the data comes from, nothing. It just doesn't matter. People don't care. People don't care about facts on both sides. Don't care about facts. But enough of that stupid shit, man. I don't want to talk about that shit because that shit gets me down. It gets me angry. It's very polarizing, you know, just talking about it like in a normal conversation. It's kind of, I don't know. Anyway, year in review. It's been a wacky year to do a year in a review, which is why I don't need notes, because what the fuck? This year started with Kobe Bryant's death. This year started, man, with me really, really on fucking point. Really on point with the podcast. Things were really progressing. I was getting some momentum. The episodes were piling up that January, February period. I was getting really consistent into March, and then March hit and shit kind of went weird. I have to say that let me not get there yet. So January, February, the plan this year for me was, the goals were to just do more shows, get busier, and, you know, be more consistent with the podcast, and just do more work. Like, I was really in a work mode. January, February. I wish I could look back at my notes. I don't have any notes. I didn't think about doing this year review until I hit record. So January, February, things were looking really good. As far as the work I felt like I was gonna put in and things like that. But then everything happened. You know, when quarantine started, I was doing the carnivore diet. I had lost like 25 pounds. I was feeling good. And I really, once the quarantine hit, this is what I was going to say before. Once the quarantine hit, I got lazy. Like, I used that as an excuse. And I feel like a lot of people may be a victim of this. And on top of it, may also be advocating for the lockdown more, or not resistant to the lockdown, because of this feeling where I didn't need an excuse not to do anything anymore. Like, that was the rule. The rule was don't do anything, don't go outside, you know. But I took that as a, like, don't do anything inside either, because I stopped doing the podcast consistently, stopped the carnivore diet, stopped working out, stopped writing. Not that I was really writing before anyway, but you know, things started drying up, and I thought this was going to be a L for the year for me, for comedy. Like, I was getting momentum. I had a plan this year. I was going to start going to do more shows in the city. All right, I was going to start going to the city more, getting involved in those city mics, trying to, you know, network and meet more people in the city. And I thought this year was going to be an L for comedy for me. I thought I was not going to get any momentum. I thought I was going to actually go backwards. I remember when the lockdown first started and Laugh It Up Tuesday, my weekly show, I don't even know if I have a weekly show anymore. We haven't done it the whole year. So the weekly show got postponed and it got canceled. Postponed or canceled, one of the two. And I remember thinking, I'm going to go backwards now. I am going to lose momentum. I'm going to I'm going to fall behind. I'm going to go back to the beginning. That's what I thought. I was going to go back to the beginning and everything was going to be tough, right? Like I was going to lose my place in line and stuff like that. That's just the feeling I had. I felt like there was going to be no progress, and this was crucial year, all that stuff. That's all what I felt at the beginning of the year. Ended up not being like that. I ended up doing a lot for comedy this year. I ended up getting, I would say, making a lot more progress this year than I thought I was going to make. And that's because of the dojo of comedy. That just ended up working out that way. Clint Esposito and I have worked together for a couple years now, just on shows, working together, producing shows, and me and Clint developed a good friendship. We like working with each other. We like bouncing ideas off each other and talking, and we just get along really good. The flow's really good there, and we always have a lot of fun. And he started working at the Dojo of Comedy, doing the podcasts there, and through that he started producing a comedy show, and then next thing you know, he's working on all the shows. And then me working with Clint got me into the dojo, and I made friends with the owner, Mike Romanelli, and another great dude, and we just hit it off. And I was putting in work. I never asked for no money, and he even said, he's like, hey man, things the way they are, I can't pay you for working. And I was like, hey, I don't want no money. Like, we're investing, right? Because I don't know how much I should be talking about, but who cares? Like, he's probably losing money, right? I'm not a fucking business, genius or something, but this year the shows weren't sold out. I'm sure he was putting money in out of his own pocket on things and losing money, especially with the restaurant not doing well. You know what I mean? So he's investing into it, and I believe in what he's trying to do with the Comedy Dojo and creating a place for comics to call home and to be able to work out and have shows and have fun. And he loves comedy, and he loves producing shows and putting the whole scene and everything. So he's making that investment. So for me, my investment is my time and my energy, and I'm investing in the dojo, and I'm investing in myself. That's what we do when we do these open mics and we do all these shows that we don't get paid in. I know Chips Cooney hates it. Chips Cooney, you should have been getting paid from day one, but it's not like that anymore. Now it's just, this is where you go to school. This is community college for comics, and we don't have to pay for it. Well, no, we do have to pay for it. You got to pay in tolls and drinks and food and your time and things. So I was putting in time. I kept showing up for every show, whether I was on it or not, from the beginning of the year. And I would show up to shows, help Clint set the stage up, wire everything, set everything, show, hang the fucking backdrop, all that stuff, get the whole show ready to go, help seat people with the tickets and stuff, and then just hang out. And then doing that, then they're like, hey, you want a spot? Hey, you want to do 5 minutes? Hey, you know what I mean? Then I was doing time, and I'm on shows in during the fucking pandemic. We got these outdoor shows, that beautiful patio with that beautiful fucking backdrop. Oh man, that was so cool this summer. That backdrop on that patio, with it's like a fake grass. Then you have the dojo sign, and you're on stage. Man, that looks so cool. And that whole ambiance is there. It's real nice and intimate. And got the red light from the neon sign. And it's just a really dope setup. And we took advantage of it. There was a lot of good shows. I got to meet some real cool comics this year. Comics I'm friends with, and then comics I just happen to work with. Like Bob Levy, Rich Voss, Jim Florentine, Mark Normand, Aaron Berg, Karen Feehan, Andy Fiore, like all these comics, like real working comics, Cypher Sounds, Will Sylvan. It's just an amazing, like, I don't want to say transformation. I'm at a loss for words. Like, it's an amazing journey. I'll use that cheap ass fucking line for this year. Like, it's just an amazing journey how I went from, I didn't think I was going to get anything done this year with comedy to rubbing shoulders with people I didn't think I was going to be rubbing shoulders with. Like, that was my goal, was to go to fucking New York so that I could be in the position to meet these people, right? So that they know my face, they know who I am, they know I'm a comedian, like they know I'm trying to be a comedian, they know I'm in the mix, and I got to do that this year. I got to meet him. Mark Norman called me fatty, which was nice. Saw my little tits. So it's just interesting how I go from thinking I'm not going to do anything to accomplishing a lot, and I'm very happy. I'm upset that I didn't record more. That's going to be my New Year's resolution this year. Record more sets. Bring your fucking camera. Set that bitch up, hit record, and stop worrying about what's going to happen on the other end. Because I bring my tripod sometimes, and I get ready to set everything up, and I just have a feeling I'm going to bomb. And I'm going to be like, I don't want to record this. And guess what? I should have recorded most times. I should have recorded the night with Mark Normand. I had a fucking great set that night. Opening. And then the comic. And then another set. And then Mark Normand. Mark Normand loved that. Less comics on the show. He's used to being on shows with like 7 comics. But yeah, that was a good one. Jim Florentine, I did okay. But still, those are just like, I just wish I had this footage to edit and share with you guys. Share with the whole world what I'm going through. But that's what I want to do this year. This next year coming up, I want to film more. I need more content. So dojo, baby. Where am I? I think that's it. I mean, that's the fucking year in review. That's the year. I ain't been in the house most of the year. It's been rough. It has been rough. And I'm telling you, for me, I felt like you're telling me to stay home. Like, that's all I want to do is stay home. So, I mean, but it got to the point where yesterday I wanted to go out. Like, I was like, I can't be home today. I have to do something. So I'm glad I went to Pedro's house, record that podcast. I'm at a loss for what else happened this year. Homeschooling's a fucking bitch. That's a pain in the ass. Or virtual school. I'm not homeschooling the kid. School should be open. Don't get me started on that. I don't know where we're at. I feel like I'm stalling. My car is stalling on the highway right now. People are behind me honking. They're honking. They get pissed off. They're yelling. They're like, fuck you, let's go. Move it along. Say something stupid. I'll just say for 200 fucking hours. I don't know. Maybe that's a wrap. Maybe I ran out of things to say. Maybe it's over. Maybe this is the last podcast I'll ever record. Oh, all right. So, podcast wise, we went from having some dope interviews to I had all these interviews lined up for March. I had I had Josh Wells, Aaron Wahlberg, was supposed to be on, and ended up like those weeks we ended up canceling. Then the show started getting canceled. I'm like, man, this is fucking weird. Man, I feel like I really fucking stalled out with my momentum. This is why you gotta plan episodes out better, ladies and gentlemen. This is why you don't think of something on the fly and say, hey, I'm just gonna do this today. And then that's what happens. Then you do that. So, I mean, like, I could have just ended this a while ago, but I think this floundering is better for me. I think the floundering is better for me to learn the flow and learn how to recover. You know what I mean? Like, if I just sat there and said, like, I might have to hit myself in the face with this baseball. But the fact that I was able to recover and get back up on the horse and keep riding, it's a little feather in my cap. Putting a feather in my cap for those of you that are just listening. So, year in review. The year sucked. Review over. What else? Oh, another plan for the podcast is something else I probably don't know if I should be talking about, but I'm gonna talk about it anyway. What's gonna happen? I think the plan is to move the VCast podcast to a new studio at the Dojo of Comedy. How did I get hiccups? How did I just get hiccups right now? Like, how do hiccups come? Like this. Alright, that was a terrible joke, but fucking hiccups just popped up out of nowhere. 1 second while I hold my breath and drink water. You ready? I got it. Still holding my breath. These hiccups. Oh, I better go. I had to let go because I couldn't talk and hold my breath at the same time. But I believe this is the remedy. If you hold your breath, you let the breath out of your lungs as far as you can. Push all that air out. Then take a super deep breath until you can't no more. And then when you get it in, like when you feel like you can't hold your breath anymore, suck a few more airs in and then take a gulp of water. And don't let go of the air, but swallow the water while you're still holding your breath. That usually scientifically stops hiccups. I say scientifically because they believe that you holding your breath and then doing that thing with your throat does when you swallow while you're holding your breath, like it lifts the little latch on the hiccup, on your hiccup thing in your throat. It lifts the latch, so then it stops the hiccup thing. It resets it. All right, that's science. There's OSHA violations about that. That didn't make no sense, but anyway. What was I saying before I fucking went off on the hiccup rant? Oh my god. Oh, so the podcast, we're looking at moving the VCast podcast to the Dojo of Comedy studio for guests. So I'll still do these solo rants here by myself. But for guests, I want to get back to having guests because I feel like the podcast was so much better when I had guests on. And I want to bring back guests, and we're going to do it at the Dojo of Comedy, where it's safer for everybody. It's safer. Achoo. Okay? Achoo. But it's better for everybody. We'll have better video quality. We'll have better sound. Maybe not better sound quality. Just as good of sound quality. But it'll be a better experience, I believe, and I think it'll take the show to the next level, which I want to take it. So I already have some fun guests lined up that I can't wait to talk to, and I can't wait to introduce you people to, non-comics. So it could be a little bit interesting. And that's it. I just want to have good conversations with people that, make people laugh, make people think, make people think. That's it. Make people think. That's all I want to do. It's just make people laugh and make people think. I'll make you laugh a few times, make you think about some things related to whatever. Like, it doesn't have to be, I'm not talking about make you think about fucking conspiracy theories or politics or whatever. Make you think about all that stuff. Make you think about other stuff like your emotions, your mental health, your physical being, your spiritual being, and all of those things in between. So I'm excited about that because the conversations, like me sitting here and doing this, I'm going to keep doing because I want to get better at it. I want to get better at the flow. I want to get better of talking. I want to get more comfortable in it. Talking about this with Pedro. We were talking about yesterday how the podcast was really good. And he was like, you were just, you kept going. And I was like, yeah, but that's only because I'm getting more comfortable. I've been doing a lot more podcasts lately. So the more podcasts you do, the more comfortable you are getting things from your brain and from your heart to come out of your mouth, right? Because when you're not comfortable and you're focused on trying to be good for a podcast, when you're focused on the audio, when you're focused on the video, when you're focused on the producing, when you're focused on the marketing and posting and social media, when you have all those things floating in your head and you're trying to be good at something that you don't have any experience in, you're going to be conscious that the camera's on, right? But when you got that flow going and you're used to it, then the camera's not on anymore. The camera's not, like, the camera's just a part of the scenery. It's not, there's not pressure coming from the camera. And when you don't have that pressure coming from the camera, I believe that you flow better. Your natural personality is gonna be better. So with more practice, with more reps, more times you do it, the better you're gonna get at it. Just like anything else. So that's why I want to keep doing these. And then we'll have, so maybe I could bang out 2 shows a week. That would be dope. I'll do 1 solo show, 1 guest every week. So I could pump out 2 episodes a week. That would be really cool. I'd be really interested in that. I'm thinking of maybe starting some other podcast or just doing other podcasts, with people. I don't know. We'll see. We have the news thing going. The Truth, I think we're calling it Truth or Facts, Facts.tv, something like that. I don't know. Something silly. You just want to be silly and keep producing content. That's what we're going to keep doing this year since, comedy's kind of stalled. We'll see, because the dojo was rocking. The dojo was rocking when, a lot of places were shut down. So we'll see how things turn out. Hopefully we'll get back to shows in January. Actually, no, we got shows New Year's Eve at the Dojo of Comedy. Rich Voss and Bob Levy are doing back-to-back shows on New Year's Eve. So I think Bob Levy's doing an early show, like around 5 or something. And then Rich Voss is doing the second show around 7 or 8. So that should be an interesting night. My first New Year's Eve doing comedy. Or who knows if I'm doing comedy or just being at a comedy show, working, because that's how it is, just showing up. Showing up's half the battle, guys. If you're a comic and you're listening to this and you're wondering why you're not getting booked or you're not getting booked, go to shows, go to open mics and go to shows, talk to people, let people know your face. I think that's a real effective move. Back to the podcast that I did yesterday with Pedro. When Pedro introduced me, he was like one of the top guys in North Jersey comedy when he introduced me. And I was like, top guys? I'm not a fucking top guy. I'm just a guy. And, but, what do we say? I'm in the mix. That's all I am. I'm in the mix. I'm not fucking great. I'm not top. I'm not ranked. I mean, I don't know about any of that stuff. You other people can decide that shit. But for me, I am just I'm not anywhere. Like, I'm just in the mix. That's all I want to be right now, is in the mix. Like, Andrew Schultz just got that Netflix special, and Pedro's like, I'm not saying you're gonna get a Netflix special. I'm like, I don't think I want one right now. Like, it's just too much pressure. I'm nowhere near that. I'm nowhere near filming a fucking 15-minute special of my own. I mean, I probably could, but I'm not there yet. I just want to keep, I don't know if you heard that. I just want to keep getting reps in. I want to keep doing what I'm doing now. I don't have any pressure to blow up, to do, like, all that stuff will come if it comes. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it'll come. I feel like I'm very talented. All right. I'm very talented. I'm naturally comfortable. I don't want to say comfortable because I'm a fucking wreck, but I have very natural stage presence. I have a very natural ability to be funny, like humor. Those two things are natural. I'm just talented at that. I'm not trying to, showboat, because you know why? Because it doesn't mean anything. That talent means absolutely nothing if I'm not putting any work in behind it. And I haven't been putting a lot of work in. I've been putting a little bit of work in. Like I said, I'm in the mix. But a lot of work in, like, writing and taking apart my jokes and, forming sets and putting together a show. Like, all that stuff, I'm lacking in those areas tremendously. And that work is what separates, the fucking men from the boys, the pros from the amateurs, the ladies from the bitches. So I don't feel like my talent makes me better than anybody. You know what I mean? It might give me more of an advantage. Yes. Fair enough. But that doesn't mean shit, because hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard. I believe that's the fucking phrase, and I believe that's the way it is. All right? That could be as talented as you want. If you're not putting in the work and somebody's putting in more work than you, I think they can be better than you. 100%. So I'm not disillusioned, if that's a word, by where I'm at because of, like I said, my ability to be on stage and be comfortable and be able to be kind of myself sometimes and be funny. Because a lot of times I go up there without an idea of what I'm doing. And it just, it works out. But it would be a lot better if I worked harder at it. If I worked really hard at it, I'd be a lot better. So that's what I have to do. If I'm going to do it, I don't know. But I have to do it. If I want, the things that I want, I have to do it. But my sense of urgency, I'm always, I think that's a fault too. This is a character flaw in me, is that I just always feel like there's time. I always feel like I'll just get to it. I'll get to it eventually, and things fly by. And then next thing you know, I'm getting fucking sued by a radiology company because they took brain scans of my head and didn't tell me that my insurance didn't cover it. So that's the fucking medical system. Medical system. So that's how I ended my year, with a lawsuit, an appearance to go to court by 12/21 to respond. But luckily, I called the lawyer company. Call people, talk to people, goddammit. If I had talked to these people when they were calling me and writing me letters months ago, I would have never been sued. All right. When I called them and talked to them and, told them that I was interested in settling this stuff, that, the whole fucking thing changed. And they were like, all right, don't worry about that court stuff. You're working on it. Like, I do this all the time. It's that procrastination and just putting things off, not to confront it or not to deal with it, or because I'll do it later. And, then I end up getting fucking sued. So that's my New Year's resolution, is I'm just going to be proactive and do things immediately. Probably not. I don't know. We'll see, guys. I canceled my gym membership. I'm planning on being fat in 2021. I'm just going to get fucking orca fat. Look at this. Bam! I got some famous Amos cookies here from last night's munchie escapades. Ladies and gentlemen, 2020 is going to be over soon. And it'll be a new year. And then in this new year, you will not be able to complain about how bad of a year it is. I mean, get over it. Get over it. 2020 is just a fucking year. It was a bad year. For some people. For others, it was fantastic. Like Jeff Bezos, how fucking great of a year did he have? Bill Gates, how great of a fucking year did Bill Gates have? You know who had a fantastic year? Dr. fucking Fauci. He had a fantastic year. Fantastic. That guy's fucking net worth doubled and tripled. So many people had such good years. Why did they have good years and you had bad years? Like, I really believe it was up to us. You know? It's all how you look at it. It's all perspective. It's all perspective, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to wrap this bitch up. I'm going to go 6 a.m. It's 6:12 a.m. It's time for a little wake and bake action on a beautiful Sunday morning. I have nothing planned. Might go by my uncle's house today because it was his birthday. I posted some stuff about him. My uncle, my hero growing up. And my hero today, goddammit. That dude overcame a lot. He overcame a lot. My uncle was at the edge. You ever see somebody at the edge? When they scare you? Like when you see somebody that's at the edge and you're like, I don't know where this is going. Like he can die tomorrow. It might be him that does it or it might be life that does it. But he's on the edge. And he's a young man in his 50s, early 50s. And it's on the edge, bro. On the edge. Just everything that you could think of. Losing your job, losing your family, losing your fucking hair. Like, just everything was fucking bad. And that fucking disability kicked in, changed the game, bro. It changed the game for him. Just because when you know, your problems don't go away when you have money, but when you have money, it's one less problem. You know what I mean? Like, it's just one less problem you have to worry about. You don't have to worry about your rent. You don't have to worry about your electric and utilities and stuff like that. Once that burden of worrying gets taken off of you, life changes. Like, my uncle's fucking pep in his step changed. You know what I mean? Like, he got it back. It was so fucking awesome to see. Just from getting the income coming, because my uncle's all fucked up. His fucking back's all fucked up. His neck, his face, everything. It's just no, I'm just kidding. It's not his face, but his back is all messed up. So it's hard for him to. And then he had the same job for 30 years. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to get another job, and especially in an industry where you work in a factory and you work in a plant and you work with chemicals and stuff. Where else are you gonna get a job? Like, it's just not easy, especially older, but yeah, so I'm happy for him. It was his birthday yesterday. Maybe I'll go see him today, stop by and hang out. That's it. I'm just gonna enjoy my day. I hope you all enjoy your day. I hope you enjoy your week. Short week. Got the New Year's coming up. Be safe with all your family. Don't drink and drive too much, too far. And enjoy it. Enjoy the time. This year's almost over. Don't waste time complaining about how bad a year was. Just make 2021 better. And you have power to do that. Nothing's going to stop it. Coronavirus, fucking Heineken virus, whatever comes out, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. We'll overcome. That's what we do as people. Bad situations, overcome, become stronger, become closer to the people that you were in that problem with, and be a good fucking person, man. Stop telling people to wear a mask. Stop telling people to fucking do something. live your own fucking life, bitch. No, I'm just kidding. No, but seriously, live your own fucking life. Stop snitching on people in parking lots. I don't know where this is going, guys. All right. It's been a beautiful time talking to you. I love you, bitches, for listening. If you've listened this far, mwah, I love you. DM me and tell me you got to this far. DM me and tell me you listened to this and you heard this part. I want to do a little test right here. DM me and tell me you listened to this part and I will send you money. I'm desperate for you to tell me. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, just DM me and tell me you listened to this far, and maybe I'll send you money. Maybe. If not, stay black, people.
You're listening to my dad of the Vic Cedeno.